What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another solo leveling Arise video. And what a time it is to be a player at SLA. Listen, if you're brand new, none of this is going to affect you because you won't know any different. You're just jumping in and seeing the world turn upside down for most global players and early access players. That's right. What I'm talking about is the brand new meta that is everything fire. Listen, fire has been in the dumpster, like quite literally considered dumpster fire. That's what we've been calling it for a very long time. And now, because of one character, and I don't care what anybody says, Essel is in fact the catalyst for all this happening. All of a sudden, fire now is dominating every aspect of the game that exists, except for, of course, anything they're not strong against. Even to some extent, they might even be dominating that, to be quite honest. Let's be real. So, what am I referring to? Well, I'm going to show you guys some pictures real quick, all right? This is going to blow some of your minds. Some of you guys already seen this, obviously, but here's an example. I believe this is TyPal, so shout out to TyPal. 14 billion. That's right. Now, if you zoom in, you're not seeing that wrong, guys. You don't have to get prescription lenses or get your glasses checked if you do wear glasses. Yusuyun is, in fact, over doubling the damage that Thomas is doing. That's right. Light meta is now over, guys, and we are now in the era of fire. And I'm going to be real, it's only just beginning because obviously with Kanai's, reemergence as a character or emergence as a character, I should say, we are going to see an even more dominant fire team than we already see. So yes, Yusuyun is in fact doing this much damage. It's crazy. And what's causing this? Well, in fact, it is going to be Gina and Essel. So right now, the best team for fire is going to be Gina, Essel, Yusuyun. All right. Now, when Kanai comes out, you're most likely going to see Gina, Essel, Kanai. All right. So Yusuyun's probably going to take a back seat. Only maybe perhaps to some content. Maybe other content she'll still dominate. Who knows? But right now, as it stands, Light team has now taken a back seat to fire. And listen, unlike the rest of you guys, I believed in the hype that is Light. Rightfully so. Light has been dominating for a very, very, very long time. Thomas coming out and dominating for the entire month that he was out was obviously a breath of fresh air for a lot of people because it was a character that we all could unanimously say was the best character. But now we're going back and he's being beaten up by a demon girl who has a crush, I'm assuming a C-lister A-rank model, and the hottest girl in the game. So that, pretty much it, right? And that's in Gina, right? Somebody who most people don't even have, and it's kind of crazy. Now on top of this, we also have another weapon coming, right? And if you look at the codex, even though the weapon is currently not out, it does release on the 23rd because a lot of people have been asking. It is Fan of the Fire. Now I'm going to go through this weapon with you guys and talk a little bit about it. Now they originally called this the Moon Shadow Dagger of Fire. I laughed when I saw it on the live stream because it was poorly showcased, and no offense to the live stream. But now we're going to review it ourselves because it is in the codex and we can actually discuss it and see what it's all about. So let's start this off the right way. So just so everybody has it already in their heads, I'm going to max it. You guys can see it all. All right, here's the stats. The stats don't change, right? It's the same as every other stat. So 2,500 attack, HP precision, pretty much all the way to A10. And again, the A10, remember, will give you an extra 15% in attack, HP, and defense. Even though you don't see it in the stat sheet, it will be applied when you enter the battle. So let's go over this wonderful little weapon and talk about what it's all about. So first off, basic attacks. 191, 194, 197 at max level. If we preview the attack, here's what it looks like, so you guys can see. It is a close range attack, which was a surprise. When the final hit lands, you saw the opponent went airborne. Here's the core attack, 571. You guys can see that's exactly what I believe Orb of Avarice and Grimoire look like when they do that attack. Again, sending the opponent airborne. And then the last move here, Juno attacks with an explosion of flowers and butterflies made of fire. Deals fire damage. When the land hit, it does airborne. So, want to go over the skills, show you guys what it looks like. There it is. All right, now let's talk about the actual, what matters, the passives, right? And this may in fact end up being the new meta as well for weapons because how good Fire Team is doing. If this empowers fire weapons and Fire Team even more, you're probably going to be using this like you would Moon Shadow Daggers, all right? And maybe the devs were actually right. So we're going to take another look at it together. And when the game comes out, we're going to do full-on summoning and testing. So when the user's core damage is at 100% charge, the Fire Flower will become the Fleeting Youth and Beauty skill. When Fire Flower or Fleeting Youth and Beauty skill is used, the user and their team members gain 1 instance of butterflies and blooms. Now, this is obviously fairly easy to do when the user core gauge is at 100. That's very easy. That's just building your core. Super fast. 6 attacks. If you have the dragon armor, it's even like 4 attacks or something. It's even faster, right? So here's what Fleeting Youth and Beauty do. Damage and MP consumption, same as Fire Flower. Core gauge consumption 100%. When this skill hits, time slows down. Deals heavy break damage. When the user attack pierces a target, there is a floral explosion on the searing flame that damages the target. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. You guys see what that move does. It does have heavy break, which is pretty damn cool, to be honest with you. Butterflies and blooms increases fire damage by 3%, increases MP recovery by 5%, duration 60 seconds, stacking up to 6 times. There you guys go. So your fire team now is going to do even more damage. Now imagine this in POD and imagine this in Guild Boss. That's right, we might actually be replacing either, most likely, the erosion effect, which is the Grimoire. So it might be Moon Shadow Daggers plus this as the new meta, and removing the Grimoire completely as a weapon being used in Guild Boss. And if fire is already doing that much damage and you're increasing them even further, plus giving them MP recovery rate, now they're going to be doing even more. So get ready for some crazier higher scores for what Guild Boss is offering, right? When using their Fire Break skill, the user and their team members gain 1 additional instance of Butterfly and Bloom. So again, now you're getting an extra 1, so that's putting it at 6% and 10% instantly. And when the Fire Bloom or Fleeting effect hits the target with High Fever effect, it causes a high fever effect on the target. So Junu's fire damage is increased by 50% when he hits a target with the high fever effect. The user regains 10% of their MP 1 time when they hit a target with the high fever effect, and this stacks up to 1 time. So there you guys go. This in WOBL is probably going to be pretty huge with the Phoenix Bow. Not going to lie. This might be the best weapon combination. We thought it was going to be the golden tail plus the staff. Nah, I think this is going to go with the Phoenix Bow. By far, right? Increases fire damage by 10%. When the Butterflies and Bloom effect has 6 stacks, it activates the Fire Demon effect. Fire Demon effect only activates for SJW. Removes instance of Butterfly and Bloom's effect and prevents the user from gaining more. Increases fire damage and MP recovery rate by 50%. Increases critical rate of the user's fire core skills by 30%. Increases the critical hit damage of the user's core skill by 120%. When the user uses fire basic skills, they gain super armor for 4 seconds. Consumes 5% of the user's MP every 3 seconds. If the user currently has 20% or less MP, it removes this effect altogether. And this is an infinite effect. So this is probably going to be very much something we're going to use during WOBL. I don't know if this is going to be, or POD. I don't see this is going to be very useful during Guild Boss, personally, but we'll have to see. Okay, so decreases cooldown of Fire and Fleeting Youth and Beauty by 20%. The user's core gauge starts right at 100% when they enter the stage, so right away giving you that buff. When all the users equipped weapons are fire weapons, their fire damage increases by 50%. So again, Phoenix Bolt perfect with this. When the user uses fire attack while the fire demon is effective, they recover 10% of their MP. So there you guys go, keeping this around even longer, allowing you to stay in that fire demon phase. So it looks like this is going to be a must-have in terms of A5. If you're gonna get it to A3, you gotta get it to A5. It's a no-brainer on this point. So this weapon looks like, guys, it might actually end up being a very dominating weapon and maybe a brand new meta, especially for all new content that is fire related or more. Who knows how far we're gonna go? Because if you guys know this, most of you do already, she's around for 38 days. Kanaya will come out in between as well. It'll probably last for about the exact same time frame as this one will end. And then, of course, we're going into fire. So it is going to be 2 months of, into water, or maybe wind, who knows. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be water again, though. So we're going to have 2 months of fire, guys. So if you plan to skip, obviously you're going to miss out on 2 months worth of content that fire will dominate. And then we're going to go back right to reset of water, most likely being the Goto element that everyone is going to be going for and rebuilding that water team. But I just want to go over this, guys. I think it's a pretty big shift in power. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a little too soon. I thought, and I've been saying this for quite some time in all my live streams, they should have allowed Light and Thomas to dominate at least one WOBL. Let everybody get that out of their systems, and then give Fire their time with Kanai and Goto. I think that should have been there. I think that should have been the course of action, the right course of action to take. But hey, It is what it is. We're in a gotcha world. Power creep happens all the time. Things change all the time, and we live in an unfair society where, sometimes we make mistakes when we think we're making the right choices. And it is what it is. All right, folks, let me know in the comment section what you guys think of all this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.